We are pulling logs out of our eyes in the Top Secret Podcast lair. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon, and this, Implicit Bias Radio, is back on the air. We've got weekly whiskeys in hand, a great crew here in the bar too, so let's get to it. We've often said on this show that when people tell us who they are, believe them. That's not knowledge that came from the genius or lack thereof between the ears of the Implicit Bias crew. It's actually originating from, as most of our topics on this show do, the good book. See, there's plenty in the Bible to back up that theory that people will often tell us exactly who they are, or more importantly, exactly what they stand for. And to risk quoting that great modern philosopher, Aaron Tippin, you've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. So while that quote might stem from a not so well-known country song from the 90s, it's nonetheless an axiom of human existence. It's one that many politicians in the United States should pay attention to as well. See, one of our many problems in political and social discourse today is that we've seemingly forgotten the proverb that describes a full-on symptom of the human experience, which is this: we are often blind to our own issues while being full-on aware of the issues of everybody else. And yet, when we open our mouths to talk about everybody else, it actually reveals who we are. The verse in the Bible discusses how we all too often point out the splinter in the eye of our brother while ignoring the log in our own eye. Unfortunately, it's just what we do as humans. It's almost a rite of passage of being an American, and it's seemingly a requisite to be an American politician. Think about it. The representatives of a party that talks about being kind couldn't crack a smile for a young cancer survivor. The party that talks about being for the working American is the party that receives, according to AI research, 65% of donations from Americans making over $500,000 or more annually. And they receive the majority of votes from 9 out of 10 of the wealthiest voting districts in the country. The party that talks about the terrors of insurrection and the preservation of democracy and decorum attempted to disrupt and disrespect the democratically elected president of the country. This is where we've landed. And what's worse is this is the end of that very same Bible verse, which reveals what might be the worst part of all. The verse ends with this: "For the words of the mouth flow out of what fills the heart." In other words, they tell you they're for the little guy, and they know they're not. As they tell you that they're about being kind, they also tell you that they're about order, and then they don't do those things. What's in their heart? Yeah, you've guessed it. It's deceit. It's hypocrisy, and for lack of a better term, it's evil. See, they can see the splinter in your eye, but not the log in their own. Now, this is not just the purvey of one political party in the United States. They all do it. Why? Because they're all human. So it's not a question of, are they doing it? It's a question of how much, how egregious is the offense. To tell that, we have to look at what they actually do, their actions. And the actions of those who are defiant in the face of good works, those who oppose positive progress, those who decry the benefit of their own countrymen, they're telling you exactly who they are. They're speaking what's in their heart, but they're doing it with more than their words. They're doing it with their deeds. They are actively working against that which is good. So stop and think for a second. Think about what type of people work against good works. It's a question that we really all know the answer to. If it's the people that we align with, well, there's really not much help for us. If we walk away from those people, we're headed to a better place. If we're working for truth, for justice, and well, we're working for than the right, implicit bias. Weekly Whiskey is right around the corner. We'll talk about some of the problems of the world. We'll tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and we'll show it to you because it's us. We'll tell you exactly who we are on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio.